coverage you can count on.
Airport officials say Southwest is the only airline here right now that's operating these 737 MAXs, and all of those have already come and gone.
And a search is on for a killer tonight after a gunman fired shots outside a Walmart in South County last night.
There are a few bills on the table right now in the Illinois legislature that revolve around banning bump stocks on guns. Basically a device that speeds up the rate of firing, turning a semi-automatic weapon into something close to an automatic one.
Authorities say a standoff in Wentzville is over after more than 8 hours. They found a man barricaded in a shower. A special House committee investigating Governor Eric Greitens met for more than 4 hours today, but not just 4 blocks away over at the Capitol. Instead, they met here at the Jefferson City Police Department, where they battened down the hatches, covering the doors and windows, hoping to keep the identities of their witnesses secret. If no deal is reached by February 15th, the president says he'll either shut down the government again or consider a national emergency declaration. But his major theme was right here. Promises made, promises kept. We heard a lot of that tonight. Promises made, promises kept. The immigration debate on Capitol Hill took center stage in Illinois today. Here in Missouri, you don't need any sort of special license to purchase a personal taser. Live in North County, Michelle Madaras, Fox 2 News. There were tens of thousands of people out at today's rally just for the chance to see President Trump. Now, he's here in Southern Illinois in support of Representative Mike Boss, who is the incumbent in the 12th Congressional District. But his major theme was right here. Promises made, promises kept. We heard a lot of that tonight.
Promises made, promises kept. Promises made, promises kept. I have to start by saying, hello, Illinois, special place, special people.
Surrounded by a sea of campaign signs and MAGA hats, President Trump spoke to supporters in a district that he won in 2016, but before that, it was reliably Democrat.
The country is doing so well, it's so successful, that everybody wants to come here, but it doesn't work that way. So it's my fault. I take the blame.
The president used this chance to pander to his base, calling for stronger borders. He also hinted at mobilizing the military as a migrant caravan continues towards the border. The president also touched on his progress in foreign relations.
And we'll end up getting along well with Russia, well with North Korea, well with China after we equalize out. But we're getting along with a lot of people, and part of the reason we're doing that, and very important for us, is we have built and are in the process of building, by far, the strongest military that we've ever had.
While most of tonight's speech was about what this White House administration considers its accomplishments, there were only a few promises for the future, without many specifics.
If you vote Republican this November, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut your regulations, and raise your incomes like we've been doing.
At this point, we are just 10 days out from the election, and there were thousands of people here. Now the question is, who will turn out at the polls? In Murfreesboro, Illinois, Michelle Madaras, Fox 2 News. I'm live here in the 3900 block of Bayless. That's over here in Bella Villa for a 2-vehicle accident, one of which was this Bella Villa police car. Now, I'm told by authorities this car was T-boned. You can see here they had to use the jaws of life to rip open the side of this vehicle. The officer was stuck inside. If you pan down here, you can see part of what looks like a windshield. Now, there's a lot of debris across the roads here, so they have shut down this stretch of road over here at the 3900 block of Bayless. Check out this second vehicle that was involved. You can see mostly front end damage on that. Now, it does appear, as I mentioned, to be a T-bone situation involving this vehicle. We don't know the cause of this crash at the moment. We do know, however, that there were injuries in this crash. We're working to get you the latest information as it becomes available. Live in Bella Villa, Michelle Madaras, News 11.
Michelle. We can't incarcerate our way out of substance abuse and incarcerate our way out of mental health. We got to treat it.
St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell says it's time for a fresh take, with 1 in 5 Americans struggling with mental health.
We know that close to 50 to 60% of those who come in contact with the justice system are in need of mental health care. We know that 80% of those who come in contact with the justice system are in need of substance abuse.
Bell is working with community partners like Dr. Kendra Holmes to find alternatives to jail, where it costs roughly $25,000 a year to house an inmate.
It provides medication therapy for individuals who have substance abuse disorders. So opioid addiction, heroin addiction, we treat those individuals in an outpatient basis. And if you're looking at the cost effectiveness of it, our MAT program costs $3,500 a year to treat one individual with opioid addiction.
In just 4 months, 20 people opted for the diversion program.
We've decreased the prison population in 3 months, or a little over 3 months, by 12%. The Justice Center is at its lowest levels since 2002.
Bell says by the end of the year, it could save the county millions.
Our attorneys can focus on more serious cases, officers can focus on more serious cases, and people who are in need and not a risk to the community in terms of danger to the community are just getting the help they need.
Attorney Julia Fogelberg heads up this new diversion program. As a former public defender, she feels this is a better approach.
We're incarcerating people at extremely high rates and at an extremely high cost to St. Louis and Missouri residents. And then people are coming out and they're going to reoffend and go back because you never actually addressed the problem that brought them there in the first place.
So far, she's reached out to upwards of 200 people who are eligible, mostly arrested for low-level crimes like drug possession, property damage, leaving the scene of an accident, or small theft. Fogelberg says it's on a case-by-case basis, but they look for people who've not previously had a criminal past or have crimes that indicate an illness.
If somebody is in the program and they're doing what they're supposed to do and they pick up another case, we can proceed with traditional prosecution, both for the new case and the one they're in diversion for. So it actually also gives us a lot of flexibility.
Dr. Holmes says the substance abuse and behavioral health programs are mostly funded by grants, and there's very little to no charge for the patients or the county. In St. Louis County, Michelle Madaras, Fox 2 News.
Part of the road is closed down over here in Wellston. We're in the 6200 block of Page. Now, I spoke to sources, and they're telling me that this was inside a grocery store known as Clay's. An officer called in need of aid because he had been shot. We're told he is a member of the North County Police Cooperative. Now, that officer was transported to a hospital. At this point, we're still waiting on word of his condition, but as you can see, you've got officers here from around the region. You've got Ferguson Police, Bell Fountain Neighbors, Webster Grove, City of Olivet, as well as Illinois State Police. I've actually seen a couple troopers with Illinois State Police out here, as well as Missouri Highway Patrol. So again, a heavy police presence out here. They're still blocking off the area. We're not hearing too much other than from some sources that say that they were in the vicinity when all this took place, and they're saying it was inside of a grocery store known as Clay's. This was about 4:40 this afternoon, and we'll bring you the very latest as this scene continues to develop out here. Live in Wellston, Michelle Madaras, Fox 2 News.
Michelle, one quick question before we let you go. You said that your sources are telling you it happened inside a grocery store. Do you have any circumstances surrounded how this led up to this officer being shot or the extent of his or her injuries?
Well, I'm going to say I saw a video. Now, it was just the very tail end of the incident. It did not look good. However, at this point, we're not ready to say anything like that. I want to get that first from police. This is just word of mouth from people in this area. But again, the video was horrific. It was graphic, and so we're just going to go ahead and wait for confirmation on all of this before we say any more. Well, Elliot, you can see the car in question right over here. They're about to load it onto the tow truck. Just check out this damage. The entire front end is crumpled. The airbag inside was deployed, and investigators tell me the driver was not wearing a seatbelt. Now, he was taken to a hospital with serious injuries. This happened around 9:15 tonight. Investigators say that that silver sedan was traveling down this hill at a high rate of speed when it smashed into a Metrolink train. Now, the driver, again, was taken to a hospital with serious injuries, but we're told everyone on board of that train, including some St. Louis County police officers, they're all okay here tonight. Metrolink says that they're now operating on a single track. That's only the westbound track. So trains are 10 to 15 minutes delayed. At this point, the eastbound train tracks have been completely closed at this hour. Now, again, investigators say that this driver of this silver car
car was traveling at a high rate of speed. At this point, we don't know why, but police say they were not pursuing this vehicle at the time of the crash. Live tonight in Wellston, Michelle Madaras, Fox 2 News.
There are a few bills on the table right now in the Illinois legislature that revolve around banning bump stocks on guns, basically a device that speeds up the rate of firing, turning a semi-automatic weapon into something close to an automatic one. Democrat State Representative Martin Moylan's bill passed through the committee today. It would ban any type of trigger modification device intended to accelerate the rate of fire. Some lawmakers I spoke with say that language is far too broad. Others say it's what's necessary for public safety. But another bill, sponsored by Republican Representative Barbara Wheeler, is also getting some traction, and even the support of the Illinois Rifle Association. But the bill's phrasing only specifically includes bump fire stocks, not other devices used to increase the rate of fire.
I would rather lean in the direction of making it too narrow and making sure that we are protecting someone's constitutional right to bear arms than to make it so broad that we have violated that Second Amendment right.
The bill that Representative Wheeler has sponsored is not as comprehensive as the one that Representative Moylan sponsored, and that's one of the questions I asked on the record was if there was a chance for the expansion of the bill or modification. I think there is still some opposition from folks who represent the gun lobby who still would not support it.
Representative Moylan's bill will hit the House floor tomorrow, but no word on when it could be taken up for a vote. Meanwhile, Representative Wheeler's bill is in the Rules Committee. In Springfield, Illinois, Michelle Madaras, Fox 2 News.